All right, y'all. We are live a minute early. And if you knew how hard it was to get us all together, there went my ring light. Um, we are almost ready to go. We get to interview the family and the founding team behind the Mr. and Ms. Military Pageant. And so, waiting for Mr. Calvin Hill to hop on. Jared, I'm sure we got a thumbs up. We know that Calvin's on his way. Yes.
Oh, you did? You got a thumbs up?
No, I'm asking for one. I was just verifying.
Oh, was I supposed to get the thumbs up? Oh, hold on a second. I didn't know I was supposed to get the thumbs up. Hold on a second.
No
Let's
worries.
see.
All right. It's
We did.
effectively 1 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, it's 1 o'clock. So we got some nice attendance. I'm looking at what's going on LinkedIn as well. Awesome. So we'll go ahead and get started. So my name is Sherry James. I am here to talk about the Mr. and Ms. Military Showcase. That is starting. It should be on November. Keep me honest, guys. The second, November 2nd. Yes.
Correct.
Okay. Cool.
Affirmative.
Uh,
Yes. November the 2nd. My God.
Thank you. November 2nd. We'll be in beautiful Oceanside, California. And it's a wonderful event that not only focuses on our United States military veterans, but it gives some contestants opportunities to support nonprofits that they love and care about in their area. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. We also have a surprise guest today. Fingers crossed that Trendy Chef can show up. He'll tell us a little bit about what he'll be serving during the Mr. and Ms. Military pageant or showcase. And we'll talk to him a little bit about why he's so passionate about the work that he does. So while we are waiting for our founder to show up, then I will start with Jared because Jared was here first. So I'm going to ask you a question. Tell me what you know about the Mr. and Ms. Military pageant and why are you supporting it?
Well, hello. Yes. I was introduced to the Mr. and Mrs. Military pageant some months ago through the owner, Mr. Calvin. He had came to Craig and I, who are both part of Network Utopia, which is a live video streaming platform, and discussed what he had done last year with the pageant. Showed us some video, and we were super intrigued by it, and wondered, asked them how do people get to see this Mr. and Mrs. Military pageant, because our veterans are very, very important to us. They do a lot for us in society, in the world, community, and how can we get this message out, and how can we expand the reach? And so he said to us last year that they had quite a few people that tuned in, and but they would like to get more people to be able to have the opportunity to witness it. So what we did was we offered our services, which is live streaming it, not just nationwide but worldwide, and give them opportunity for people to be able to see this lovely pageant. Now, um, when he explained to us what the pageant was all about, how he last year he had men and women, and these men and women were veterans, and they all had a to support a certain nonprofit. Like like most of the sashes have like your state on there. Their sashes actually have the name of their nonprofit. We just thought it was a really, really cool thing, and more people need to see it. We need to make it stronger. We need to help it grow so that way it could be not just a 1 or 2 time thing, but we hope one day this will have like our 10th annual um, showcase, that kind of thing. So, matter of fact, there he is now. There's the man of the hour. There. Yes, Mr. Calvin. So, no, average. It was a no-brainer for us. We first heard about it. We absolutely loved the idea, and we were actually honored, man, that Calvin actually said, "Hey, we'd like for you guys to be a part of this." And so we've been, you know, trying to do whatever we can to make sure that this event is a success. Yep.
I love it. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Mhm.
You've been a very invaluable part of this team. Working with Network Utopia has been outstanding. And so I'm excited to hear next. And we're not going to go in order because the man of the hour is here. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, Calvin, and tell us a little bit about why you're doing this showcase?
Hello, Miss Sherry. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. My name is Calvin Hill, and I created the Mr. and Miss Military Pageant Showcase to showcase, celebrate, and to appreciate the accomplishments of our military veterans, all over the world. And so we really thank them for the service, and we thank them for what they're doing. When I was in the Navy, I did 20 years in the Navy, and I saw firsthand, how myself and my other service members were being recognized. And oftentimes, it was, on the middle, in the middle of the ocean on a ship, or it was on a base behind layers of security. And, most of the time we would get awards, at award ceremonies, but, the service member didn't have anybody to share that award with, because, as I just said, the ship would be in the middle of the ocean, no family members around, or it would be on a base someplace, behind layers of security, and, the family, or, the loved ones, for some whatever reason, wouldn't be able to come and see, that service member get recognized. And so at that moment, I decided, we got to do something about that. And so now we have, the Mr. and Miss Military Showcase.
I love it. I'm super excited. We've got some great invited guests. Do you want to talk to us about some of the people that we'll see when we make it there?
Yes, yes, yes. So we have attending. We have Trendy Chef. He's going to be coming. He's a celebrity chef, known for his boiling water video, and so he's going to be there. He has a surprise for us. So he's going to be making. I don't want to go into it right now. I don't want to. I don't want to spoil the surprise for Trendy Chef, but he's working on something pretty spectacular for everybody that shows up, and also those watching online will be able to watch him as well. So I know everybody's looking forward to that. And also we have platinum recording artist Oscar Snow. He will be joining us on November 2nd. So he's going to be singing. He's going to be doing a Teddy Pendergrass tribute. So he's going to be singing some of his favorite songs, and he's also going to be bringing his famous cobblers. So he's known for his peach cobblers also, and so
Hmm.
everybody that comes in attendance will be able to check out his peach cobblers and give their thumbs up on that. Let's
Fab.
see. Also, yes. Also, we have one of the DJs from KYXY 96.5 in San Diego. Her name is Sherry Knight. She's going to be one of the guest judges, so we look forward to seeing her there and having her in attendance. And we're going to have Amy Forsyth. She's a publicist, public relations person with the U.S. Marine Corps. She's going to be there. Kevin Davis. We got plenty of comedians. We got singers. Miss Sherry, you're
Right.
going to be there, so we look forward to having you there. We look forward to having Fleet. Fleet gonna be there. Master Chief.
Woohoo!
Master Chief of the Fleet gonna be there. Raymond, we got Raymond coming in. Uh, Mr. Raymond Kim coming in, and so we look forward to having a great time. And there's going to be plenty of royalty there, from other pageant systems, going to be there, making their guest appearances, doing their wave. And it's important for them to come because we want them to support, our title holders, our winners, to welcome them, into the royalty family. So, welcome them into the club. And so I really appreciate that their attendance, on November 2nd. And so we're going to have a great event. So, tell all your family, tell all your friends, come on out Saturday, November 2nd, because that's the place where you want to be at.
I love it. I plan to be there. So I think it's going to be amazing. Fleet, if we can get the Honorable Raymond D. Kemp, Fleet Master Chief, Commissioner of the American, can we do? Can we even say all of that in the amount of time that we have? I might run out of time. So that I don't mess it up, the Honorable Raymond Kemp, would you tell us a little bit about this Mr. and Ms. Military pageant and tell us why you've been committed to working and supporting this event and why you're here today. Tell us a little bit more.
One of the greatest successes in leadership happens when there is true community built. And when community is built properly, it always includes a measure of recognition. And so I'm really, really glad that Calvin brought up the fact that during my 33-year career and loads of medals and letters and so forth posted up on walls or in a box, uh, those oftentimes came in places where no one else could see them. And so I knew that as a leader within the Navy, that there was a great value in the recognition amongst the peers. I agree with Calvin, and I fully believe in the mindset behind celebrating in an outward way so that we can bring back the trust that the nation has, not only in the active duty military, but also in veterans by highlighting those programs that they think are very important, as Jared mentioned before, the nonprofit measure of support. And so it was really, really easy for me to say yes when I heard that there was an opportunity that I could lend whatever hand that I can. I mean, if you need some heavy boxes lifted, I'm going to the gym, I can help with that. But
You heard that now. Hold them to that.
whatever way it is that I can help and or support, I'm fully all in. And for those who may be listening who may not know what a Fleet Master Chief is, at the end of my career, I guess you could take the positions of Human Resource Officer, Operations Officer, and merge them all into one position. And that was my responsibility for the continent of Europe, continent of Africa, about 60,000 people. So I've shaken a few hands and patted a few backs. And even over the last 15 days, thanks to Phoenix Speaks, I've talked to over 6,000 people face to face. And so many of them I've had the opportunity to highlight this opportunity. And another thing, while I'm going, another thing is to give the awardees exposure to organizations that, one, have a high level of support for the military, and two, these organizations, which are foundations, provide scholarship monies to military members and to their families. And so the Bob Feller Active Valor Foundation, as well as Wings Over America, are opportunities, for folks to get a free measure of education. So I'm here to connect people together. I truly believe in relevant relationships, and I'm honored to be here as part of this effort.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Now, for the people who won't be able to make it to Oceanside to hang out with us, we will have the opportunity to connect you via Network Utopia and their streaming service. So, Calvin, why don't you tell us a little bit? I'm sorry, Craig, tell us a little bit about Network Utopia. Tell us about the stream keys. How do we get people signed up and ready to go?
I got you muted, Craig. I can't quite hear you.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
How about that now? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Sounds good.
First and foremost, I want to thank Sherry and thank Raymond and thank everybody on here. Network Utopia got a hold of this project, like Jared said in the very beginning, and we just wanted to do. My dad was in the Navy. My uncle was in the Navy for 20 plus years. I have an uncle that's a recruiter for the Navy. So over the years, they instilled this great sense of pride for me for the military and the military service. And so when we had the opportunity to jump on board, we jumped in with both feet. And one thing that we wanted to do was offer everybody who could not make it to San Diego, we actually have a channel just for the Mr. and Mr. Military that you can go on, click a button, and you are there experiencing the experience that is the Mr. and Mrs. Military pageant. So it's very simple. We have links that will go out to everybody because we just want to take all our military people and let them know how important they are to us. And thank you guys for Calvin and Raymond for your service, because without you guys, we don't know where we would be if we didn't have this strong military background and strong military presence in our lives today. So it makes it real simple, easy. Network Utopia is just the engine behind the Mr. and Mrs. Military pageant to make this all happen.
I love it. Thank you so much. So between Craig and Jared, I'm hoping somebody can drop in the stream key. So if people want to go ahead and purchase those stream keys today to support, that'd be awesome. So this live gives us the opportunity to tell you more about the event. But if you're ready to go ahead and purchase and support and be a part of this event, we'll have that link up for you in a moment.
Absolutely.
Is that my music playing in the back? Like, you guys hear music, or is it just...
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I'm in the back of a church, so I'm pretty sure it's not music here, but it's possible. I don't know. I'm glad to know that y'all all hear the same music that I do, and it's not just me.
Yes,
Glad to
yes,
feel for
yes.
that. Awesome. All right, and so we have another guest online today, and so Ms. England, tell us a little bit about you and what you're going to be doing to support the Mr. and Ms. Military Showcase.
Okay, thank you, Sherry. First of all, it's great seeing your face, sis. I want to say we met in New York. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, we met in New York, and so it's really great seeing your face. I am here to help on this end, since I'm more south of the border, to spread the word about the Mr. and Mrs. Military Pageant Showcase, right? Um, and my oldest daughter, I am the proud mom of four beautiful daughters, and my oldest daughter is a veteran. And so this really connects and ties me to it. I'm really strongly encouraging my youngest, who is 19, to take herself into the military, but I just love being part of being able to work with a team that is really doing something, and it's meaningful. It's not just, oh, this is a fly by night, fly in the wind. This is 1 year and now it's over. Because those that sit on the front line, while some of us are peacefully sleeping, they need to be recognized out in the
Mm,
open. They leave everything behind to go and assure that we're safe anytime they're called to duty. And so this really does mean a lot to me. My daughter did 4 years and she said, Mama, that's enough. And so I'm just even just proud of her doing her 4 years.
Mm.
She has my youngest granddaughter, right?
mhm,
But it means a lot. We talk about mental health and all those different things, and our military personnel experience all that and yet stand to assure that we're safe. And so I would not love to be a part of anything greater than what's going on here, to work with these brothers. And I know I have some sisters like you. And so that's why I'm here.
thank you so much. Wow, that's a.
Awesome.
Can we just talk for a minute about how God shows up? Right, all we have to do is make that first step. God shows up every time and shows out. And
Oh
so
yeah.
thank you so much, Ms. England. That was a fantastic kind of testimonial as to why we're doing this. So thank you. All right, I do have the link, so I'm going to ask Calvin to tell us a little bit about what his future is for the Mr. and Ms. Showcase. Tell us from this year's going to be amazing. Yet. So what are we going to do to top this year next year?
And, and whoever's on, you should mute your mic after you finish talking, so you don't get the background.
So what we're hearing is the sound of freedom. So there are jets flying over where Calvin is,
Okay.
and so I know that sounds so well. It actually elevates my heart rate when I hear that sound of freedom above. But Calvin,
Okay, okay. I think they're gone now. Okay, Miss Sherry, say that one more time.
They're not. But also, how apropos is that? Like, we are literally on a call talking about celebrating our military and our veterans, and how appropriate would it be to hear fighter jets flying above your head, Calvin? So, what I was asking you
Oh yeah.
during that wonderful display of God showing up, tell us a little bit about what you're expecting in 2025. So we know 24. We know this year is going to be
Yeah.
off the charts amazing. We already know that.
Yeah.
What do you have on the plate for next year?
Okay. Yes. Thank you, Miss Sherry. That's a question. So for you guys that don't know, right down the street from Miramar Air Base, right here in Miramar, in La Jolla, California. So Miramar Air Station is like a couple of miles away. So you may hear, like Fleet said, you're gonna hear the sounds of freedom flying over from time to time. They just did the air show not too long ago, so they're probably still higher from that. But for 2025, we're gonna have a great time. You know, like I said, we're going to showcase, celebrate, appreciate our military veterans, and we're going to take it to the next level. We're going to take it a step further. We're going to boost it up. So we're going to go on the road. We're looking at Atlanta, Georgia, for 2020. So, San Diego, California. So as we get more, this event, so, look, my goal is Miss Military Showcase. And so this is just, one step, in that direction. As we get there. So next year, 2025, we're looking at the Atlanta, Georgia, somewhere there in Atlanta, Georgia. Hopefully as part of the military influencer conference. We still have to work that out. That's still in the works, but just so everybody know, that's where we're headed. So if you're in the Atlanta, Georgia area, if you're in that area, get ready. So we want to showcase, celebrate, and appreciate you. So if you have somebody that you want to nominate or you want to sign up for the Mr. and Miss Military 2025 showcase, go to mmmilitary.com and sign up there. For 2025. For you guys that want to watch it, here in 2024, as we crown the 2025 winners, go to militarypageant.media. That's militarypageant.media. Get your tickets right now for that. I think discounted tickets are still available. Get those right now. So we have men and women signed up. We have some veterans signed up to represent Disabled American Veterans Nonprofit. We have somebody signed up to represent Mill Vet Nonprofit. Somebody's representing St. Jude. We have somebody representing the Challenged Athletes Foundation. What else? We have a veteran signed up to represent Veterans of Foreign Wars, VFW. Who else? We have veterans signed up to represent uh, Warrior for Children. That's a great nonprofit that helps out military children. So we have some military veterans. They're going to be doing some great things and showcasing their work with these nonprofits. So everybody needs to tune in. Not only support these military veterans, but support their nonprofits as well. These are some great causes that these veterans are participating for and getting exposure for. These veterans want to help these nonprofits get some new donations, some new members signed up, and some extra exposure for their causes. So this is a great community event. We want to showcase and celebrate our veterans that are recognized in these nonprofits, because when our nonprofits, are strong, then the individuals and these families that are in these communities, where these nonprofits are, they become stronger too. So, we all want to do our part, and that's how our event a positive impact on locally but nationally as well.
I love it. Thank you so much for that. I'm excited for this year. I'm excited for this year and next year. But it sounds like, if I heard you correctly, there are multiple nonprofit organizations that are going to benefit from this pageant. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So, you know what? I'm going to put a call out. I like to just be that antagonist, right? So, if you are a part of that organization, any of the nonprofit organizations that Mr. Hill just mentioned, then buy a stream key, support. And a lot of people do, we do a lot of talking. And so, would you encourage everyone to share the word? How would you like for them to share the word amongst their own nonprofits? Because those nonprofits will benefit not just this year, but for years to come. So tell us a little bit about those nonprofits, how you selected them, and a little bit more around like what those organizations do, so people understand the impact of what you're doing.
Yes, thank you. And also, uh, let's see, let me see here. So I didn't choose them, so now it's free choice. So when a veteran signs up, for the event, they can choose, whichever nonprofit their heart. For example, we had a young lady sign up, Air Force veteran. Her name is Kristen, and so the Team Red, White, and Blue. That's her nonprofit that she chose, and she chose them because they really helped her through a tough time in her life. She's on her way. She's been at a road. And Team Red and Blue was there for her, and so she built some, with the work with it with that organization. And so now, she saw a way to get back to them, by participating in this event, to help them get new donations, new members signed up, new exposure, extra exposure, for what they're doing. If somebody sees Kristen on the stage, they'll be able to watch their screen, see Team Red, White, and Blue's logo right there on the screen, click on that logo, and be taken to Team Red, White, and Blue's website, where they can, give a donation, whatever amount. They can give a donation to Team Red, White, and Blue. They can sign up to become a new member with Team Red, White, and Blue, or they can just look at their calendar, look at their about page, find out more information about that nonprofit. But that's pretty much how it worked. And there's another guy that signed up, an Army veteran. His name is Jesse Galvan. He signed up and he chose MilVet, a nonprofit, that's just in Southern California. I think they're in Murrieta, close to Temecula. He signed up because he liked the care packages that they put together to send out to military veterans that are deployed. And so that really touched his heart. So, we really, just make it to where the veteran, can pick who they want to represent. And, we really encourage the veteran and the nonprofit to work together as much as possible to put out the messaging and to work on branding, that, the nonprofit wants, the people to see, the public to see, and, make sure the messaging is consistent. But,
Yeah.
If that's not the case, then we still encourage, our military veterans to pick a nonprofit that's near and dear to their heart, and just celebrate that nonprofit and give back to them. Because that's what we're doing. We're changing lives and impacting communities.
I love that. I love it. And that statement sounds very familiar. Actually, I'm going to pivot. We're going to pivot over for a moment. I'm going to let Fleet Kemp talk a little bit about that community. Tell us more about changing lives, that statement that Calvin just provided.
Yeah, well, one thing is very important that military members, and I'll speak specifically to the Navy leaders, are driven to impact hearts and minds, meaning that I need to, touch the way that you think, just intellectually, yes, but also I need to help you understand your why in the totality of the organization. When we are bringing military members through their service and then back into the community, it's very important that we realize that we don't want to just build them to be great within the stovepipe where they work. If you're, let's say, an information systems technician, we want you to learn a whole lot more than that. And then when you have the opportunity to make your way back outside of the gate, for those who don't know, every military base, there's usually a blue line, which is a line of demarcation. Once you cross that blue line and become a civilian again, we want you to be an asset to the community. And so whenever I hear, the language that Calvin is woven together there by changing lives and impacting communities, that's really a staple of leadership within those of us in the uniformed ranks. So the ability to impact hearts and minds so that we can give back these changed lives and then have an impact to the community. I also would just like to echo and emphasize what you mentioned about those nonprofit organizations and the strength of those nonprofit organizations. One of the most difficult things about transitioning from being an active duty service member to being a veteran is that the gap once you cross that line. And oftentimes there are these nonprofit organizations that provide a safety net and a relevant relationship and connection with the civilian community. If you think about it, particularly as a sailor, when you're out on a ship, you're surrounded by folks all the time. And I've served with the Army. I've served side by side with Marine Corps, Air Force as well. The community of those of us who chose to serve, the less than 1% of our nation who chose to serve, is really tightly woven. And then once we're out, it's a little tricky, to be very honest. It's not as dense as it is within. There's not as many like-minded folks. And so when we have organizations like those that Calvin mentioned, who are in place to help provide that measure of support as we transition, it's just an honor to be able to give back to them, bring some shine, put their name on the banners and put their information on Network Utopia's assets so that the world can see, hey, these are people who are helping our military member transition into the veteran status and then sustain that. And so oftentimes people would give if they knew where to give. They would give if they knew how to give. And the Mr. and Ms. Military pageant is creating space where people will get an education. And once we get knowledge, you're accountable for that. So providing that space for folks to give. And again, one of the many reasons that I'm supporting this effort.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. So speaking of Network Utopia, you mentioned how invaluable this tool is. And so let's talk a little bit to Mr. Craig Stover. Talk to us more about Network Utopia. Some people may not have any concept of the technology, how cool it is, or especially how it'll be utilized for this event. So can you refresh our memory what Network Utopia is and how you'll be using it?
Most definitely. Network Utopia Entertainment LLC. Me, along with my partner Jared Washington, is on the call with us. What we do is we do a lot of stuff in the youth sports space. Basically, what we do is if you have a kid or grandkid or anybody that's playing on a basketball court or football field or any kind of sport across America, what we do is we live stream that event so mom, dad, sister, brother, and everybody can watch it. So our technology is we create channels. We create channels for different events, for being flag football, basketball, whatever it may be. But we also do a lot on our entertainment side. And this is a big, big one for us on our entertainment side to make sure our goal when I talked to Calvin initially was to be able to show what he's doing across the world. We have an international streaming platform that we can stream anywhere in the world. And my dream was that we would have this event so we can only get so many people in San Diego, but if it was somebody in a base across the in Europe or somewhere that wanted to watch, that we will give them the technology and everything so they can also watch too by just going right to the channel and clicking on that. And this person is in a stream key that allows you to watch it and experience the experience, as Miss James would say. So you guys can feel that same experience. Our goal is to give you guys the same experience that if you were there.
I love it. I'm super excited. I will have the opportunity to travel and interview a few of the contestants and the judges and you guys, and especially Trendy Chef. I don't know if we ever got a chance for him to come on board, but I'm so excited to utilize this technology and to see exactly what it is Network Utopia is going to do in the future. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, and
I
I just want to say, can I say right
oh,
quick
absolutely.
that what Craig and Jared and Network Utopia is doing, is very necessary because since our first event in 2023, our website has had visitors from 42 different countries, coming to see more about Mr. and Miss Military. So, we really need, Network Utopia to get the word out to those countries, that want more of Mr. and Miss Military. So we really need them, Craig and Jared and what they're doing. And so that's a really, something important to have to be able to get the word out to those 42. And it should be more than 42 by now. But yeah, that is very significant. So I just want to applaud you guys and thank you guys for that.
Agreed. It's been an amazing team, awesome team. Jared, I'm gonna uh, switch it over to you, and then I'm gonna ask you the last question. You ready for the last question?
What you got?
Hmm.
Hmm.
How many people do you think you can get to register and get a stream key for this event? Give me a number.
How many people do I think me personally can get?
Yes, you. This is a personal challenge, sir. Absolutely.
Let's see. Well, my military community is not as big as some of the other people on the phone. However, I do have some military friends that I've already reached out to, and I'm going to do a bigger push as we get closer. So, to answer that question, ultimately, I like to bring in personally, if I can, more than in excess of 500.
I like the
Would
number.
it would be nice using the platform or resources that I have with some of the people. I think it's a doable number, me personally. I'm hoping to get way more than that,
Yes.
or somewhere close to that number.
Okay. I like 500. All right. So, what say you, the rest of these leaders on this amazing group? I think we can make 500. I agree with Jared. I'm not gonna bet you because I'm gonna stick with your number, and I value my money because I know I don't. I would say 5,000 eventually,
Yeah.
right? But that's my dream. What about
Yeah.
you? So who's next? Raymond,
Yeah,
what do you
I like that number 5,000. On an aircraft carrier, we've got about 5,000 folks. And so I think that that would be certainly pleasurable. And I've served overseas a lot. And so I think when we're able to tap in fully to those resources, that number, it'd be hard to. I want to put some pressure on Network Utopia to be able to handle everybody.
Oh, nice. Well, then I will transition on over to Craig. What say? Okay, what say?
I want to
5,000?
double and triple that number. I think we can handle. Hey, we geared up to handle 1 million if we need to. So
Ah,
that's what we had anticipated. So we're geared up for that.
I like.
So and one thing I did want to mention also, one of our other partners that they're in charge of is school. Um, what we want to do there and what we want to do with some just a kind of secret stuff. Maybe we can do some voting stuff for our contestants online. We're working on doing some stuff. Not no pressure, Jared.
It's like what? I had no idea. Wait, what?
Yeah, I like
I
to
love.
under promise, over deliver.
Ah, nice.
Under promise, over deliver.
I like it. I like it. Okay.
That's
All
right.
right. Well, thank you so much for that, sir. All right, Miss England, you get a vote. So tell me what say you? What does your gut say? How many people do you think will be impacted by this year's Mr. and Ms.
Great
Military
question.
Showcase?
Uh
Uh-oh, you're muted, love. I can't hear you. Oh, I hate we missed that. We
Missed
need.
that.
That's because I mute because I never know what's going. It's not like I have
Um,
a lot of people living in my house, but I be trying to respect the Zoom. You know, so
Appreciate it.
No
okay.
worries. No worries.
Because I know that I'm working with fabulous men, I know they can hit high numbers.
Mhm.
I'm going to choose one because you said one. I'm going to stay I'm going to say 5,000. I'm going to go with the
5,000 sounds good. I like
Okay.
it. And when two or more are gathered, I love it. Thank you so much. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. All right. So thank you all so much for spending this time. We're going to go ahead and wrap up, but we will have another one of these events on Friday and on Saturday. So please do pay attention and see when we post that so that you can join. Hopefully, Trendy Chef will be able to make it on the one on Friday or Saturday. But we know that he's spending a lot of his time giving back as well. So last words are for you, Mr. Hill. How do you want to close us out?
Hey, I want to thank everybody that's a part of this huge endeavor, man. And we're gonna do it great for our veterans because we want our veterans to have something that they can call their own, and they can just be proud of it and just be proud to participate in it for years to come. America has the BET Awards, the ESPYS, the Grammys, the Oscars, the CMAs. But what do our veterans have? So come on and join us and let's make this a huge success, for our veterans, and let's give them the spotlight that they deserve.
I love it. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Thank you for joining. This is Sherry James from the Creating Mental Wealth Show. Thanks for being a part of this. We will see you again on Friday. Thank you all to all of you who dedicated your time and gave to this effort. We'll see you soon.